Okay, today we're talking about the ultimate musical rebel, the original game changer, Ludwig van Beethoven.
You know that feeling, right? When the music just swells during a huge movie battle or you're about to face a final boss? That massive, emotional, world-shaking sound. Well, the DNA for all of that started a long, long time ago.
And it all started with this guy. Seriously, forget the dusty statues and the boring old portraits. We're going to look at Beethoven as the guy who basically hacked the system and changed the rules of music forever.
So every hero has an origin story, right? For Beethoven, it all started in Bonn, Germany. You can think of it like his tutorial level, where he had to learn the basic rules of the game under some seriously intense pressure. Beethoven's early life was a total grind. I mean, his dad pushed him for hours and hours every day, trying to create the next child prodigy. But here's the amazing part. Despite all that crazy pressure, Beethoven actually fell in love with the piano. He saw its potential. And get this, by age 12, he was already publishing his own music and working to support his family. He wasn't just playing the game, he was mastering it. So, flash forward to 1792. Beethoven decides it's time to level up. He moves to Vienna, which was basically the world championship arena for music at the time. He studied with the legendary composer Haydn and just started blowing people's minds with his incredible piano improv skills. He was the new star player that everybody had to see.
Now, the main game mode he was playing was something called the piano sonata. Don't let the fancy name scare you. It's really just a piece for a solo piano, and it's broken up into parts called movements. Just think of them like different levels in a video game, each with its own vibe and its own challenges.
Back then, the level design for these sonatas was pretty standard. You'd have a fast opener that introduces all the main ideas, kind of like the mission briefing. Then you'd get a slow, emotional part. Think of it like a cutscene for all the feels. And you'd always finish with a big finale, a fast, exciting showdown. It's a pretty simple formula, right? And Beethoven, he learned it inside and out.
But here's the crucial point. This is where everything changes. Once Beethoven mastered the rules, he started to break them. On purpose. He wasn't just playing the game anymore. He was hacking the system and rewriting the code from the ground up. And it completely shocked everyone who heard it.
Let me put it this way. Music before Beethoven was often really polite, kind of predictable, nice background music. Beethoven's music, it was the exact opposite. It was explosive, it was emotional, and it was full of sudden, dramatic twists. It wasn't background noise, it grabbed you and demanded your full attention. His early Patheticus sonata is a perfect example of this powerful new style.
And he did this by introducing a whole bunch of new technical upgrades, like new special moves. We're talking huge jumps all the way across the keys, lightning-fast scales, and these massive, heavy chords. He used the sustaining pedal to blur sounds together in a way nobody had really done before. And he pushed the dynamics to the absolute limit, going from a tiny little whisper to a sound so loud it could literally shake the room. He was forcing musicians to level up their skills just to play his stuff.
His music was so demanding that the instruments of the time, they literally couldn't handle it. He needed more power. It's kind of like trying to run a brand new graphics-heavy video game on an old computer. It's just not going to work. So piano makers had to evolve. They started building stronger instruments with metal frames and more keys just to keep up with what Beethoven was imagining.
But then, right when he's on top of the world, Beethoven faced the ultimate challenge. I mean, the one thing that should have been a game over for a musician. Starting in his late 20s, he began to lose his hearing.
Just think about that for a second. His entire world was sound, and it was fading away. How could he possibly keep going? How do you write music if you can't even hear it? The answer is, he heard it in his mind. Instead of giving up, his deafness actually forced him to compose from a place of pure imagination. He was no longer limited by what a real piano actually sounded like. He was composing the perfect music that existed only in his head, which made his work even more original and groundbreaking.
And this whole experience brings us to his late sonatas. This is Beethoven in God mode. He started writing music that was so complex and so far ahead of its time that almost nobody back then could even understand it. He was composing for the future.
I mean, he was using these incredibly complex techniques like the fugue. That's where you take multiple, totally separate melodies and weave them all together at the same time. Imagine trying to follow 4 different conversations at once. It's like this dense, amazing musical spiderweb.
And the ultimate final boss of all his piano music is the legendary Hammer-Clavier Sonata. Even Beethoven himself knew what a monster he had created. He actually said that it would take pianists 50 years just to figure out how to play it right.
50 years? That's not just a piece of music, that's a lifelong challenge. He wasn't just writing a song, he was building a mountain for future generations to climb. The sheer scale of it is it's mind-blowing.
So what was Beethoven's ultimate high score? What's his lasting legacy? Well, in short, he didn't just write great tunes. He fundamentally changed the entire game of music itself.
His impact was absolutely huge. He inspired the entire next generation of composers, guys like Chopin and Schumann. He transformed the idea of a composer from just a hired servant into a celebrated genius artist. He proved that music could be about deep, personal feelings and epic struggles. His 32 sonatas became so essential that pianists now call them the New Testament of piano music. And yep, his powerful sound is still the blueprint for all that epic movie music we love today.
Look, if you take away just one thing from all this, let it be this. Beethoven showed the world that art isn't just about making something pretty. It can be a powerful, personal, and heroic struggle against everything that life throws at you. So next time a piece of music, in a movie, a show, or a game, gives you actual goosebumps and makes your heart pound, just take a second and maybe give a little nod to the original rebel who made it all possible.